In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about conversion. A lot of buzz in the industry right now about conversion as well. There should be, whenever you're doing any type of marketing, the ultimate conversion is the most important part of it. So first of all, what is conversion? Okay, how should you define it? And then how do we benchmark it? We're going to do, what tools are out there to benchmark your conversion? And then how do you move the needle? And by moving the needle, I want to look at what the big guys in the industry are doing. What does Google do to create conversion? What do the internet marketing gurus do to create conversion? And then how can we use that information to increase your conversion? So first of all, what is conversion? Conversion would be to get a web visitor to complete a desired action. And that could be to download a PDF file, to watch a video, to download an audio, whatever that is. But ultimately on a car dealership site, I think we want to isolate conversion down to, did they contact you? Did they feel comfortable enough from what they saw on your site and what they know about you to reach out and call you or fill out a lead submission form on your site? In this case, at least in my mind, that's what I would define as a conversion, because we're going to turn those into sales, hopefully. First of all, of course, you want to create a benchmark. And in creating a benchmark, you've got analytics tools. Google Analytics is probably one of the primary ones you should be using because it's very transparent. Nobody has control of it. The filters are exactly what Google's got set up, unless you create a different profiles and accounts with different filters for your own use. But ultimately, you get all the information that Google has when you have Google Analytics. Then you want to look at your CRM tools and your ILM tools to determine whether or not those leads are turning into sales. Are you getting a lot of leads but aren't turning them into sales? That's something you need to know. And then there's other tools out there that you might want to look at as well. So then let's look at how Google creates conversion. And you probably haven't even thought about this in the past, but Google is probably the main, and not probably, they are the 800-pound gorilla for conversion on the internet. That's what's made them so much money. They send out the Google bot to find websites and pages, and then they index those pages, and then they determine how much value those pages have. What kind of content does it have on it? Is it new content? Does that site get traffic? Is there backlinks going to it? They get all that information, and then when somebody goes to search for that type of content, they serve it up in front of them. Whether it's an organic search or a paid search, by connecting somebody searching on the internet with the content that's most relevant to them, Google knows they create conversions. That's why they have what's called quality score in their pay-per-click. If you, for example, create a page on your site for blue widgets and then do an AdWords campaign, and your AdWords campaign, let's say you do red widgets in your AdWords campaign, pointing them to your blue widgets page, Google is not going to give you a good quality score. They're actually going to raise your cost per click. They're going to reduce your click-through rate by showing your ad less frequently and burying it in places where they know people aren't going to click on it because they know it's not going to convert. On the flip side, if you do a blue widgets page and you have a blue widgets text ad, they'll raise your quality score. They'll put you in a more prominent position. They'll charge you less for that because they know you'll keep paying more. By having a relevant page, a blue widget ad, they land on a blue widget page, they'll probably convert. Everybody's happy, the customer's happy, you're happy, and Google's happy because you're going to keep buying more. So that's how Google converts on the web. Then the internet gurus of the web are doing something very, very similar. What we're seeing over and over, and this is a model that is just taken off over the last couple of years, is the internet gurus and the bloggers, the professional bloggers. What they do is they provide content, and while they provide content, they ask you for your email address. They say, hey, if you sign up for this email address, I'm going to give you even more content than what you get on my blog. And then they send you emails, and on occasion we'll ask you to buy something, and it'll usually be to buy something from somebody else, but it's going to be relevant to the message that you originally went to their site for in the first place. So they're connecting a relevant message to somebody that wants it, and that's what converts on the web more than anything. So on a car dealership site, we need to start looking at how can we increase your conversion on your car dealership site. If you look at your analytics, you're probably going to find some interesting information. You'll find that if your web vendor is doing an adequate job in SEO, or if you've got an SEO company that's helping you out, you're probably getting a lot of traffic from outside of your area, from people that you normally wouldn't have sold a car to. And one of the things we need to know is if you want to increase your conversion, you have to realize, number one, we're in a zero-sum business. The number of people who are going to buy a car this month are the number of people who are going to buy a car this month. So you need to move. And when I mean move, you need to move outside your brand, or you need to move outside your location. You need to reach outside of what you've normally sold to get more people converting on your site. And just to give you a reference point, let's look at what your dealership does right now. What I did is I just cut out a map, and this is the Sacramento, California area, and I just put a dot on the map. And let's just assume there's a car dealership there. Let's just say it's a Ford dealership. If this Ford dealership were to go into their database and look at all the customers that they've sold cars to over the years, it would look something like this if they plotted it out. It would be all their customers really close to the dealership within a certain radius, and then it would start to get more sparse as it went out. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be a perfect circle because the way houses are built in neighborhoods and so forth, but you get the idea. So let's say somebody 100 miles away does a search, and they do a search for Ford F-150 Citrus Heights, and it's this browser out in the middle of 100 miles away. Let's just say it's 100 miles away, and they find your site. Let's say your web vendor has done a good enough job to get you to be number one even. Now we need to get them to click. To get them to click, the text has to be right in your page title. The text has to be right in your description for the page that is ranking, so that they click through. Because we see, using webmaster tools and analytics and a lot of things, that a lot of times these people don't click. You could be being seen a lot, but it's just not getting the click through. So we need to work on that for conversion. Let's get them to the site first. And then number two, we need to make sure that the message is clear when they get to the page they landed on. So if you typed in Ford, or this customer typed in Ford F-150 Citrus Heights, they need to land on a page that is about them. Something that says, if you buy a car from 100 miles away, we're going to give you something better. Or if you're an out of the area buyer, join the 100-mile club at the XYZ Ford dealership, so that they see that there's something in it for them, and they'll start looking a little bit further into your site, as opposed to just leaving, which tends to be what happens now. So, if you're going to move outside your location, you need to create a more compelling reason for people to travel further. You need to create either that or a better experience, a better price, which is very difficult with new cars, we know, or some other sort of incentive. So you need to come up with that. One of the things that, if you get into conversion, Brian Massey from theconversionscientist.com, great read. He talks about the bad boys of conversion, the bad boys of internet marketing and the techniques they use for conversion. The pop-unders, the pop-overs, chat, this landing pages. The different things that you can use they're all great. They all work. We know they work, but you really need to make sure, no matter what you do for conversion, you balance the experience. So you've got hard sell versus soft sell, just like you do in a dealership. If you've got pop-ups and pop-unders and all these things that are hijacking somebody's browser for a period of time, they better have value, and they better be within your brand. So you need to make sure that you protect your brand when you do those kind of things, just like you would if somebody came to your lot. So those kind of things are very important to know online. So that is conversion from a really basic standpoint. There's a lot of tools that we're going to go through, and a lot of tactics that we'll use over time to increase that. But thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.